Amidst a world stage where politics and international relations often collide in unexpected ways, Canada and India find themselves at a diplomatic crossroads, and at the heart of this unfolding drama is none other than the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. This time, however, Trudeau finds himself in a situation that's far from ordinary, and the stakes seem higher than what meets the eye. But is the charismatic leader merely playing politics, or is there a hidden layer that could jeopardize not just international relations, but his own wealth and reputation? Let's unravel a story that goes beyond diplomatic cables and political rhetoric. Before we begin, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. The current conflict between India and Canada. The tension between India and Canada at this moment is thicker than a bowl of Canadian poutine gravy. It's a full-blown drama that has everything: money, power, and a plot twist that could rival your favorite Netflix series. You see, it all began with the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar on June 18, 2023. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill crime story. It's a tale that has sent shockwaves from the snowy peaks of British Columbia all the way to the bustling streets of Delhi. Why? Because Hardeep Singh Nijjar wasn't just anybody, he was a separatist Sikh leader, a man whose life and death have become the epicenter of a diplomatic earthquake. He was killed in British Columbia, and Canada didn't just point fingers, they dropped a bombshell. Justin Trudeau came out and said that there were credible allegations potentially linking Delhi with Nijjar's killing. And while Canada seems to be lacking support from its allies on this claim, it's still going all in. Can you imagine a head of state accusing another country of being involved in a murder on his soil? And India, well, they didn't take this lying down. They rejected the allegations faster than you can say international scandal. And they didn't just issue a statement, they took action. India stopped issuing visas for Canadians. So if you have dreams of meditating in Ashram, India, you might want to start looking for other vacation options. But wait, there's another layer to this onion of international intrigue. Experts say that the relationship between India and Canada, which was once as sweet as maple syrup, has been slowly deteriorating. And it's not just because of this recent incident. The ties have been fraying at the edges for a while now, and this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Now, you might be wondering, what's at stake here? Let me tell you, it's not just about diplomatic ties, it's about the presence of a large Indian diaspora in Canada. It's about the potential fallout that could affect both countries economically and politically. To add on, each side has been taking retaliatory measures that could escalate this conflict into something much bigger. It's about how international relations can affect our daily lives, our economy, and yes, even our travel plans. But hold on, this story has another chapter, one that involves a man who's no stranger to controversy and headlines: Justin Trudeau. Yes, the current Canadian Prime Minister's family legacy is deeply intertwined with the very community at the heart of this conflict, and you'll soon understand how. The Trudeau Legacy. Let's start with Justin's grandfather, Charles-Émile Trudeau. This man wasn't just any Joe Schmo, he was a business tycoon who built gas stations around Montreal. He even started a loyalty program called the Automobile Owners Association. By 1932, he was swimming in cash. We're talking Scrooge McDuck levels of wealth here. Here comes into the picture Pierre Trudeau, Justin's dad. Pierre was a charismatic figure who could charm the socks off anyone. But don't let that smile fool you. This man was as sharp as a tack. He was a politician who served as the Prime Minister of Canada not once, but twice. In addition, Pierre was a social liberal, and boy, did he shake things up. He wasn't just about giving speeches and cutting ribbons, he was about making real changes. One of his most notable achievements was creating more flexible divorce laws. In a way, he made it easier for people to say "I don't" after saying "I do." But that's not all. He also decriminalized homosexuality. In a time when such topics were taboo, Pierre Trudeau dared to go against the grain. Now, you might be thinking, okay, he made some changes, so what? Well, let me tell you, these weren't just any changes. They were groundbreaking reforms that shaped the very fabric of Canadian society. He was arguably Canada's best-known politician, both at home and abroad, and he didn't stop there. Oh no, he had bigger fish to fry. He set out to remake Canada, and remake it he did. How? Well, let's just say that Pierre had an ace up his sleeve, a secret weapon that would help him reshape Canada. And what was that secret weapon? the Sikhs. This was the same community that had been planting its roots in Canada for decades now. The first Sikhs arrived in the Fraser Valley from Punjab, India in 1905. Now, these aren't just your average immigrants, these are pioneers, trailblazers, men and women willing to work their fingers to the bone to build a better life. They started working on farms, in the forestry industry, and even on the railroads. And let me tell you, they're not just laying down tracks, they're laying the foundation for a community that will become a force to be reckoned with in Canada. The Canadian government, it isn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Discriminatory immigration laws are in place, making it tough for Sikhs to bring their families over. But do they give up? Not a chance. They fought tooth and nail. The Exodus. As time went on, Sikhism in Canada started to transform. The partition of India in 1947 was a game changer, shaking up the global landscape. Amidst this upheaval and other key political events worldwide, the 1950s marked a turning point. That's when Pierre Trudeau flung open Canada's doors, welcoming a new wave of immigrants who were generally more educated and westernized than those who came before. The community grew and Sikhs began establishing gurdwaras in major cities across Canada. Now, most cities have several gurdwaras, each reflecting different religious views, social opinions, and even caste backgrounds. But it wasn't just the local scene that impacted Sikhs in Canada. Events back in India played a significant role too. The rise of a nationalist movement for Sikh rights and an independent Sikh state called Khalistan deeply affected the community. Many Canadian Sikhs financially supported this movement, especially after the Indian Army's 1984 attack on the Golden Temple, a sacred Sikh shrine. Legal challenges also cropped up, particularly around religious freedom. For instance, the right to wear a kirpan, a ceremonial dagger, in schools became a contentious issue. However, the Supreme Court of Canada generally upheld the religious freedom of Sikhs, although some restrictions apply. The circle back. Now let's get one thing straight. When it comes to the Sikh community, the Trudeaus have been their knight in shining armor for generations. While Justin's father employed millions of Sikhs, strengthening the bond between the community and the family, Justin has taken it a step further by naming 4 Sikh members to his cabinet in 2015. Also, Canada's House of Commons has 18 Sikh MPs, while India's Lok Sabha only has 13. That's right folks, the Sikhs in Canada have more representation in their government than in their homeland. And if that wasn't enough, Justin's been their voice in this time of distress, their advocate for justice. He stood up to India, a global power, by risking not just diplomatic ties but also his reputation. But it's not a one-way street, it's a mutual alliance where both parties have something valuable to gain. The Sikh community in Canada is grateful, and why wouldn't they be? But this couldn't be the only reason why the community matters so much for Trudeau. If you look a little closely, you'd see that the Sikh community isn't just a demographic. They are a powerhouse that make or break political careers, and Trudeau knows it. However, the Sikh community isn't just influential in politics, they're a force to be reckoned with in the economy too. They're entrepreneurs, professionals, and community leaders. They're the kind of people who not only contribute to the economy but also shape it. And let's not forget that they're a significant part of Canada's trade relations, especially with India. So if Trudeau wants to keep that $13.7 billion trade flowing smoothly, he better keep the Sikhs on his side. But hold on, it's not just about dollars and cents for the government, it's about heart and soul. Sikh philanthropy in Canada is something to behold. They're not just donating to their local gurdwaras, they're supporting pan-Canadian social issues and the arts. They're the kind of community that gives back, making Canada not just richer in wealth, but richer in spirit. So what's the bottom line? Trudeau can't afford to go against the Sikh community, not if he wants to keep his political career and family legacy intact. And let's not forget that the Sikhs are a community that remembers. They remember who stands by them and who doesn't. So if Trudeau wants to keep his reputation and wealth intact, he better play his cards right. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time.